I'm Inwood Lane. I'm known as the Gig Geezer. I can help you maximize your gig hustle. I also need your help. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Give my content a thumbs up. Spread my content with others. And I welcome your comments in the section below. And with that, let's get into this segment of the Gig Geezer. There was a time just 2 years ago, or even a year ago for that matter, when you would start your hustle at the beginning of the day, typically in the morning, whatever time that is. For me, it's usually about this time of day, mid-morning, just when the lunch shifts begin. And you kind of go in thinking, I'm going to catch me a couple of nice offers and get my hustle going. And you can just about count on it 80-90% of the time. For me, during that time, I was living in Lexington County, which is the other prominent county in the Columbia metropolitan area. I could just count on $100 hustle just like that, and as quick as 2 hours, but no more than 3.5 hours. Could count on it. Of course, different time. Almost you could say different era. Now, this particular hustle, I started it 25 minutes ago, and it took almost 20 minutes for me to accept my first order, which is a Chick-fil-A, 11 items, $6.50, and it's going to an elementary school. 2 of the 3 variables in this I'm already having a lot of apprehension about. Number one, $6.50 offer. 11 items gives me reason to believe that there may be more money on this. But because it's going to an elementary school, schools are not your best places to be dropping off orders. If anyone know about school teachers, particularly at the primary and secondary levels, they're very frugal. They're very cheap because they don't make no money. And that's another conversation. I wish that teachers would make more money. They deserve it. They really do. But typically, school orders are not that, for lack of better words, lucrative. But we'll find out. Now, my other order that I accepted was for $14.16, BiteSquad, at this specialty sandwich shop. And so I know what I'm going to make on that. But the thing that I don't like about accepting with that order is the fact that it is from the time of pickup, the estimated time of pickup to estimated time of drop off is 29 minutes. Now, I always talk about discipline. I always talk about sticking to your process. I'm somewhere as close to the process, but not exactly sticking to the process, because some days you have to do what you have to do, whatever that is. But we'll see. And I'll get back with you with the results of these 2 orders. Well, I'm leaving what was a junior high school. And I've had to take a few moments to compose myself and cool down, because as I have shared from time to time in the Gig Geezer segments, I try not to accept orders that are in that $6 to $7.50 range. I try to accept single orders, $8 or more, simply because in this market, those are tricky orders, and they tend not to pay no more than what they were. This order actually came in at $7. 11 items, 3 drinks, and blah, 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 blah. But the key variable was that it was going to a school, and the Gig Geezer was right. This is why the Gig Geezer does what he does more than 95% of the time to avoid this. I'm in it to make money. You may say, well, you just made $7. I'm not in it to make $7. You don't make over $210,000 between 2018 and 2021, or to this point this month, right at about $5,000. Today's the 25th. By accepting orders that pay just $7. You just don't. It doesn't add up. That's just like arguing with me saying that 1 times 1 equals 6. And there are people out there who will argue with you to their grave that 1 times 1 does not equal 1, it equals 6. But in this particular case, it equals 1. It equals $7. So, that is proof. This order is proof of what I've been saying all along. Now, the other order pays $14.16. I'll probably have then whatever travel time there is to cool off and then to try to just recalibrate my thinking so that I have a better attitude for the rest of the day. Now, I've already talked about how attitude, your attitude, good attitude, better day, bad attitude, not so good day. And so I'm gonna have to check my attitude real fast, or it may permeate into something else today. Well, here now, I'm hoping that things will turn around, and I hope that they will turn around real fast. But here's the rundown. Okay, now upon leaving the school, you saw what the order paid, $7. And then now I just left the second place, the BiteSquad pickup, that was $14.16. This is another place that I have my concerns with sometimes because they're open mainly for lunch, but they're constipation. They're slower than constipation. And I get there and they're telling me that it'll be another 25 minutes for the order, although I arrived there almost 15 minutes after the estimated arrival time. So that means that if the order was supposed to be ready at 11:46, it might not be ready until 12:15. Well, and then the drop-off is supposedly another 29 minutes away. No, bad combination. So I just sent a message to BiteSquad Dispatch to unassign me from the order for excessive wait time. Now, on top of that, just as a backup, I happened to get a UberEats order from a place. It was called Genji Sushi House. The place doesn't exist. And so the UberEats support person was giving me a mini interrogation about the place, and I'm like, look, man, I've seen this place before on my app. I've had an order from this place before. The place does not exist. There's a Thai restaurant in that area. There is a Middle Eastern restaurant in that area. This place does not exist. Oh, okay. Now, of course, in this particular situation, I get nothing for it. All I get is thank you for, I get a thank you, but no compensation for basically what should have been a canceled order on UberEats' part. But I had a stacked order on top of it that was taking me to a part of town that I really didn't want to go because it just takes me out of the immediate area that I've shown a preference to working. But then I got bailed out with a stacked order atop of it. So I guess that's my mini consolation. And so after about an hour, it looks like the Gig Geezer is probably going to be at about $22. Not where well, actually it's not $22. It looks like it's going to be about $24, maybe $25, depending on the generosity of a customer. And of course, now an Instacart for $34 come across my phone screen, and I'm not going to be able to get to it because somebody else will get to it. Well, it's that type of day. It's that type of day. But again, I am determined to turn this around, and I will turn it around at some point. All right, so this is how this first half hustle ended. It ended on an Instacart for $19 and change, bringing my first half hustle to about $85, $86. Now, that is definitely nothing to be celebrating over. In fact, in the Gig Geezer's book, that is considered just barely making it close. And what I define as making it close is when I put in an effort that results in earning $85 to $99. Making my number is when I make $100 or more. And saving face is when I'm somehow able to make $75 to $84. And anything less is an absolute debacle. Now, given the way this hustle started, the one thing that I could draw from it is that I was able to change my attitude and my perspective on things, and I saw better results as the hustle went on. And even then, it didn't look like that it was really going to come out this way. In fact, about an hour and 15 minutes ago, so that's about 2:30, I was at $58. And then I caught this Instacart and then a UberEats that took me not far from the Instacart location, and hence here we are. Now, all that is to say, it's slow out here. There's no kidding about it. There may be some places that are still doing well, but by and large, what I'm seeing on many of the driver boards on Facebook, it is slow. I mean, constipation is moving faster than a lot of these markets out here, and my market included. The last couple of Gig Geezer segments that I've shown, or the last couple of Gig Geezer segments I've uploaded, it seems as if I just happened to buck the odds, or just happened to have a horseshoe in my back pocket, a size 13, 14 horseshoe in my back pocket or something like that. I hope that's not the case though, but at the same time, yesterday, January 24th, I finished right at $200. In fact, $200.22. The first half was at $93, and then the second half was $107. So if for nothing else, statistically, $85 definitely puts me in a much better position to make the overall goal of $200. But for the sake of this segment of the Gig Geezer, I hope that if for nothing else, you take from it is about the attitude, because things happen. Orders do not materialize. Orders do not always turn out the way you think they should. Definitely the DoorDash Chick-fil-A order to the school set me in a different mode altogether. In fact, I'm still fuming over that one, because I'm mad at myself for taking it, knowing that orders like that can be tricky. But yes, I have rolled the dice, and I've mentioned in other Gig Geezer segments, yes, you've got to roll the dice. You've got to have a gambler's mentality about some things. Sometimes, most times, your instincts are going to lead you correct. I've alluded to instincts being correct 75-85% of the time. So I guess I'm about on pace with that then, because the other times I've been right and this time I was wrong. But that's all I have for this segment of the Gig Geezer. Initially, I thought it was going to be a geezer short, but it's going to be a moderate size segment. But with that, I'm Wood Lane, and as always, may your hustle continue. Thank you for checking out this segment of the Gig Geezer. If you reach this point, it means that you've checked it out in its entirety, and it's very much appreciated, and it tells YouTube that you're very much engaged in my content. Hey, if you'd like to get in contact with me or pass on some other useful information, I can be reached at giggeezer3.5@gmail.com, or you can check me out on Twitter at giggeezer.